How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and over here we talk stocks and we focus on one thing. Always protect your profits. And today we're going to be talking about Chargepoint and as well as for SOFI. Chargepoint has been on quite the run as of late, especially yesterday. So many people want to know what are my thoughts on that. We'll talk about that. And as far as for SOFI, we ended up getting a close above $7. That's exactly what we were looking for, but we'll talk about that further as well. So we're going to take a look at the recent institutional ownership and short interest information for both of these stocks, and then we're going to be taking a look at the charts. This is very important because it can give us a good idea of what the uptrend looks like and what we want to look forward to in regards to our predictions. And if you're new to this channel, I just want to let you know we have timestamps down below inside the description, and then afterwards I'll be giving you guys my final recap for both of these stocks. So let's get into it right now. So we're going to take a look at the chart for SOFI. Let's see how it performed on the day. So it ended up closing at $7.04, being up 1%. On the low, it tested $6.90, and then on the high, testing $7.15. When we take a look at the volume stats on the day, you can see we traded at 19.592 million shares, and the average volume over 10 trading days is at 21.178 million shares. So we had below average volume on the day, but hey, we had a green day in the stock. Now, when we take a look at our chart, which is a daily chart, I've been showing you guys the lower time frames, but we want to keep an eye on the bigger picture. So like I was stating in previous videos, ever since July the 5th, SOFI has experienced quite a strong run-up, trading as low as $5.19 to testing a high today at $7.15. And also getting that close above 7 is very bullish. We know that $7 was a psychological area. Also, if you remember, this 670 level was very key for us to break above. If you notice and take a look all the way back here on the 9th, that's where we had big time selling, and that's when we started having the downtrend. But now that we were able to break above that level, that's where I was saying we want to see SOFI being able to get to $7.47, and you can see how significant that area is because we do have selling pressure within these ranges. So if we're able to actually break above this level, then you know the next level is right here around $8. A move to $8 will definitely be a good look for SOFI going into earnings. So as far as the zone that we want to pay attention to, since it did test the low at $6.90, as long as we're able to stay above $6.70, that would be a great look for the stock and increases the likelihood of it getting to $7.47. So keep that on watch. But overall, in general, SOFI continues to be bullish, as you can see by the continuation of these higher lows and as well as the higher highs. So we're going to take a look at the recent institutional ownership and short interest information for SOFI. Scrolling down on the page, green rows indicate new positions, while red rows indicate closed positions. So seeing the recent filings for the 21st, you have SOL Capital Management Company that purchased 10,735 shares, and we have Wedbush Securities Inc. that purchased 35,607 shares. So now, when we take a look at the short interest, the off-exchange short volume ratio is at 30.05%, and then for the off-exchange short volume, it is just over 3.52 million shares. Scrolling down on the page, the short shares availability is at 7.7 million, updated 7 minutes ago, and then for the short borrow fee rate, it is at 1.91%. When we take a look at the history of the short volume, we can see for the close of the 19th, it is at 39.51, and then for the close of the 20th, being at 30.05. So that is a significant difference right there. And then when we take a look at the short interest percentage of the float being at 17.85%, SOFI does continue to have short squeeze potential. So we're going to take a look at the chart for Chargepoint. Let's see how it performed on the day. So it ended up closing at $14.74, being up 2.86%. On the low, it tested $14.13, and then on the high, testing $14.95. When we take a look at the volume stats on the day, you can see we traded at 9.389 million shares, and the average volume over 10 trading days is at 9.748 million shares. So we had below average volume on the day, and we saw some strength in the stock. Now, when we take a look at our chart, which is a daily chart, here's what I want to bring to your attention. You can see on the previous day by the size of this green candle right here, we had some strong price action. So we had a low right here around the 1270 area, and then we got up to a high all the way to around 1433. Of course, for today, we ended up forming not only another higher career low, but we were able to see a high at $14.95. So where do I see Chargepoint going? One thing that is clear, that $16 is a strong area of resistance for this play. If we go further back on June the 28th, we had a rejection. And then if we go back here on June the 9th, we had a rejection, and we also had it here on June the 8th, and we also had a rejection which led to the downtrend back here on the 21st of April. So that's why there's a lot of significance around this area. So the likelihood of Chargepoint getting to $15 is very likely. But what is the price action going to look like if it can break above 16? So I'd want to see it get to the 200 EMA, which is right here around 16.40, and then seeing what it would do from there. But again, $16 is an area you want to watch very closely because it could sell right back off. And another thing that we need to pay attention to is a gap to the downside needs to be filled right here around 1160. Am I saying that it's going to be filling in this gap sometime soon? No, but it's something that we cannot forget about, and if we do see weakness inside of the stock, we know that gap fill should be on our radar. But for the most part, like I said in my previous Chargepoint videos, it was very crucial for it to hold $12. It did exactly that. Then it broke through the next level at $13.25, and here it is right now trying to make a move going to 15. So let's see how it performs going into tomorrow and as well as for next week. So we're going to take a look at the recent institutional ownership and short interest information for Chargepoint. Scrolling down on the page, green rows indicate new positions, while red rows indicate closed positions. So when we take a look at the recent filings here, we have for the 20th, we have 2 closed positions from REITs Capital Advisors and as well as IBM Retirement Fund. We also do have a new position from Beacon Capital Management Inc. that purchased 200 shares, and we have Haran Securities Inc. that purchased 220 shares. And the most noticeable is Sawtooth Solutions LLC on the 19th that purchased 19,208 shares. Now, when we take a look at the short interest, the off-exchange short volume ratio is at 47.18%, and then for the off-exchange short volume, it is just over 2.64 million shares. Scrolling down on the page, the short shares availability is at 500, updated 10 minutes ago, and then for the short borrow-free rate, it is at 5.00%. When we take a look at the history of the short volume, we can see for the close of the 19th, it was at 45.18, and then for the close of the 20th being at 47.18. So that is a significant increase right there. And then when we take a look at the short interest percentage of the float being at 17.48%, Chargepoint does have short squeeze potential. So to give you guys my final recap for both of these stocks, let's first start off with SOFI. So in regards to SOFI, yes, we did get that close above $7, which is exactly what we are looking for. Plus on top of that, you have to remember the next level that we're looking for is at $7.47. If it can break above this level, that's where we could see SOFI making that move to $8. So we want to see the strong uptrend continue. It has been showing a continuation of higher lows and as well as higher highs, but this is not surprising due to the fact that it has been running up just like many other stocks since the beginning of July. Another thing that we do know about that they have earnings that's going to be coming out on August the 2nd, and that is not too far off whatsoever, so there will be some anticipation. And if the market continues to trend up like it was doing today and being able to get to $400, which I'm talking about for the SPY, SOFI should continue to see an upward movement. So that's why I want to make sure you guys add this to your homework. As far as for weakness is concerned, unless we drop below $6, that's where I'll say, well, you know what, things are looking kind of concerning, but from what it's looking like right now, SOFI looks like it'll be perfectly fine. And then as far as for Chargepoint, Chargepoint has been on quite the run, especially if we factor in yesterday. I'm not surprised that it saw some resistance around $14.95, so the area to watch is $15. If we can get that break above $15, then we know there's a strong likelihood that Chargepoint can get to $16. But here's the issue with $16. It has been a consistent area of resistance for this play, and it has broke down numerous times when it gets to this level. So if you are inside of it, or maybe you bought up some shares, because remember what I was saying when it was trading in the $11 range and as well as in the $12 range, these are not bad areas. So if you're doing a swing, keep an eye on that $16 level. That is very important, but in my personal opinion, I want to see Chargepoint getting to 15. It saw some momentum today due to the EV sector and as well as for the overall market. Tesla ended up reporting their earnings, and despite the fact that it was mediocre at best, it ran up anyway. So that just shows you, as far as earnings is concerned, we're definitely in a different market. And considering we are still in a bear market, this rally that we have, you want to make sure that you're being cautiously optimistic. Just don't be buying calls at the top. Yes, it has been working for some days now, but you don't want to make a habit of this, because like I said, the market has been running up and it has been doing this consistently. So I want to make sure that you don't get too naive. But as far as for the uptrend for Chargepoint, I am liking it. It did make a $2 move the day before, so I'm not surprised why I wasn't able to make as big as a move for today, but the chart still continues overall to look bullish. So let's see what the markets look like going into tomorrow. But in my personal opinion, I think we might have some volatility. We might have a pullback. We had Snap that ended up releasing earnings, and of course they ended up missing on estimates, and we had some pullbacks in stocks like Meta and so forth. So that's why I'm saying we could have some selling pressure, or we could just say, you know what, we sell off a bit and then we start ripping back up, getting ready for big tech earnings for next week. I wouldn't be surprised if that happens either. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll be talking to you real soon.